She wants to tell the story.
I do, because I think it's a pretty cool story.
Mom, tell the story.
Okay. Oh, okay, if you really want me to.
Okay, so real quick, can we pause the wedding photo hunt for a sec? Because buried in all this Taylor and Travis wedding coverage is a detail that honestly has nothing to do with them. And it's kind of a bigger deal than people are giving it credit for. The New York Times put out their official wedding announcement for the couple, and if you actually read the fine print, which, let's be honest, most people skim past, there's a line about Taylor's parents that pretty much confirms something fans have suspected for years: Andrea and Scott Swift, not together. Hasn't been official news until now, but it's basically written in black and white. Here's how we know. The wedding announcement lists Andrea as living in Forest Hills, Tennessee, and then lists Scott separately as living in St. Petersburg, Florida, and the Nashville area. 2 different addresses, 2 different lives. For a couple that's technically been married since 1988, you don't need to be a detective to connect those dots. The write-up also gets into what each of them does now. Andrea used to work in mutual funds marketing before she basically became Taylor's full-time manager and brand strategist.
Listen, it was so earnest. I thought it was the sweetest thing in the world that he came to your show.
Yeah.
He brought you something from your world.
Yeah.
To me, that really said a lot. So
Scott, meanwhile, spent decades as a stockbroker at Merrill Lynch and actually built out something called the Swift Group under their wealth management division before retiring. But honestly, this isn't even breaking news if you think about it. People have been talking about Andrea and Scott splitting since 2012. Back then, Radar Online ran a story quoting a family friend who said Taylor was struggling with her parents' separation and that it was going to show up in her music. Sure enough, that same year she put out Red Make of That What You Will. That original source also claimed the two had quietly stopped wearing their wedding rings, but never actually filed for divorce. Allegedly because they didn't want it messing with Taylor's career at the time. As for why they split in the first place, word was it just came down to their schedules not working. Scott stayed home running his business while Andrea ended up on the road with Taylor basically nonstop, and that distance apparently took its toll. So if you're keeping track of the timeline, Andrea and Scott got married in February of 1988 in Texas. Taylor was born about 2 years later in December 1989, and her brother Austin came in 1992. The split likely happened around 2012. But here's the wild part. There's still no public record of an actual divorce. So on paper, they might technically still be married, just clearly living very separate lives. But even though there might be some trouble brewing in the Swiftie parent universe, don't worry. There is one very special furry family member out here living his absolute best life. Apparently, Taylor and Travis's dog is eating better than most of us. A source has shared details claiming the pup gets human-grade meals, flies private, and rides in the cabin instead of getting stuck under the plane like the rest of us mere mortals' pets. This comes after Travis was spotted at a Palm Beach airport with the dog in tow, fueling even more curiosity about their newlywed life. Insiders say they've also got a whole support team of caregivers to make sure the dog's never short on attention, leading people to joke the pets have it better than most humans at this point. What's sweet, though, is that getting a dog together was reportedly a real milestone for the couple. They took their time before committing, wanting to be sure they were ready. Makes sense given Taylor's already mom to 3 cats, Meredith, Olivia, and Benjamin. Sources say raising the pup together has actually deepened their bond and shown what a great team they are. Details are still private, we don't even know the dog's name. But Jason Kelce confirmed its existence back on the Fitz and Wit podcast in 2025, sharing that the puppy chewed a hole through one of Travis's brand new green velvet couches almost immediately. Iconic.
He had these couches, and they were like, it was like green velvet, like over the top couches.
I could see that with him.
And I go, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to say the dollar amount, but I'm like, dude, what are these couches? Oh, it's an Italian designer. They made it. He said it's an investment. I'm like, Travis. It's art, Jason. I'm like, Travis, this thing is not retaining it. I came back, and I come back, and one of the couches is like pushed up against the wall. I'm like, why'd you move the couch? And he goes and he pulls the couch back. He had just got a puppy. The puppy had chewed a hole in the back of it.
That same commitment energy is apparently carrying into married life overall. With training camp coming up, Travis will be spending serious time in Missouri, but insiders say Taylor has zero interest in doing long distance. Reportedly, both of them have watched too many Hollywood couples drift apart over distance, and Taylor's not letting that happen to them. So wherever Travis goes, she's going too. Helps that her career gives her way more flexibility to work from anywhere. Here's a fun twist though. While Taylor's out here making sure marriage doesn't mean long distance, turns out she might not have to worry about that for much longer, because Travis could be closer to retirement than anyone realized. His longtime trainer Chris Carter dropped the hint just this past week. Nearly 3 weeks after the wedding, Carter posted a photo with Travis and the whole training team, calling him the GOAT, and saying he's gearing up for the last dance with Canton and the Hall of Fame as the next stop. Not subtle in the slightest. And in that same photo, eagle-eyed fans caught Travis rocking his wedding band with his arm around Carter. So yeah, he's fully embracing married life too. Quick reminder on just how personal that wedding actually was, despite the massive 1,000-person guest list. Instead of a typical bridal party, Taylor's brother Austin served as her man of honor, while Jason Kelce stood in as Travis's best man, family affair, through and through. Here's the plot twist, though, because just months before this Hall of Fame talk started, Travis had actually confirmed he was returning for a 14th season, shutting down retirement rumors, at least temporarily.
I think, seeing my brother go through it and seeing, just how the league works, the season kind of restarts in April, and I want to give the Chiefs a good opportunity to, whether I come back or not, and vice versa, like whether they want me back or not. It's one of those things where I'd like to make that decision before they got to get draft picks and the free agency opens.
Back in March, the New Heights Instagram announced he was officially back with the Chiefs, and the NFL even confirmed it themselves. Still, Travis has been honest that he doesn't fully know when he'll actually walk away. Back in January, he told the Kansas City Star that the decision might hit him suddenly, or it might take real time to figure out. He admitted last year's choice felt easier than this one. So married life, a possible last season, and a trainer already talking Hall of Fame. Feels like Travis Kelce's next chapter is coming together fast, whatever it ends up looking like. But even amid all the mystery and cloak and dagger invite games, there's actually a genuinely sweet layer to this wedding that deserves its own spotlight, and it comes straight from country star Brad Paisley. Brad and his wife, actress Kimberly Williams Paisley, were among the lucky ones who scored an invite to the Madison Square Garden wedding, and he recently opened up to the Associated Press about the whole experience. Turns out even guests were kept in suspense right up until the end. Brad said the invite itself told him he meant a lot to the couple.
I took this personally when I got the invite, because in the invite it said, if you're getting this, you mean a lot to us.
He took that to heart given his history with Taylor. She actually opened for him on tour all the way back in 2007 when she was still a teenager. He also described the whole process as this fun cat-and-mouse game where guests were given a rough idea of location and a date, but nothing concrete until they actually confirmed they were coming. Brad said he turned to his wife and asked if she wanted to go, and she immediately said, absolutely, they had to be there.
And it was really fun to watch the cat-mouse game of, like, we can tell you roughly where it's going to be. We're not going to say what building. We're not going to say, and we're not. And here's the date. And here, if you're in, we'll tell you more. And I was like, I went to my wife. I said, "Want to go?" And she's like, "Absolutely. We got to be there."
Looking back on the actual day, despite the massive scale, remember, MSG holds 20,000 people. Brad said it ended up being one of the least pretentious weddings he's ever witnessed. He called the invite itself a genuine thank you from Taylor for their history together.
One of the most, ironically, like, one of the least pretentious weddings I've ever seen or ever will see. Awesome. And so, yeah, it meant a lot to be, it was kind of a big thank you from her to invite us.
But here's the part that really stands out. Ahead of the wedding, Taylor and Travis quietly donated $26 million across 20 different charities, all tied to cities that hold personal meaning for the couple. One of those charities happened to be the store, Brad and Kimberly's own Nashville-based nonprofit. Brad shared an emotional Instagram video thanking the couple, calling the donation transformative. He pointed out just how many families it would help feed, adding that it was honestly a beautiful way for the two of them to start their marriage.
Tay and Trav, this is really an amazing thing to think about, the gift that they gave the store. We just wanted to take a second and say it's transformative. It will feed so many families, and what a way to start a marriage. I'm very excited.
We are so grateful for your donation. This is going to go such a long way, as Brad said. Food insecurity is at a 10-year high in Nashville, and the timing is just so critical. We're just really grateful for your generosity.
But hey, stop the wedding talk for a bit, because Taylor might be dropping something even bigger. And true to form, she's doing it in the most cryptic way possible. On July 19th, Swifties noticed 3 of her songs suddenly got new Spotify canvases, those background visuals behind a track. I Knew It, I Knew You turned green, its piano version turned purple, and Blank Space randomly turned red. Fans quickly ruled out a glitch, and the theories have been spiraling ever since. Theory 1. The most popular is that this is leading up to Taylor's version of her 2006 debut album. Fans expect it around the 20th anniversary later this year, and this week lands exactly 13 weeks before October 23rd, the closest Friday to that date. July 24th also numerically adds up to 13. Taylor's lucky number, fueling speculation of a Friday announcement. Since green has always represented her debut era, that canvas choice checks out. Theory 2 says she might be pulling a full Shania Twain, who once released an album in 3 different genre versions. Some think each canvas color represents a different take on Taylor's version: country, acoustic, and pop. Fun idea, but a lot of extra work for a re-recording. Theory 3 is the wildest, that this isn't a re-recording at all, but a brand new 13th studio album. Fans have been doing number math, connecting the colors to Reputation, Speak Now, and Red to land on 13 again. Is it a stretch? Maybe. But with Taylor Swift, nothing's really off the table. Join in on the next video to find out more deets. Until then, time out.